Especially for you, I translated my video with my lovely AI-generated voice.
And with that, the next trophy is checked off, and that with the small level 22 account. I already have 11 different trophies now. I'm already quite satisfied. Yes, the common barbel is running well at Bear Lake right now. We were here at the same spot 2 days ago too, and held a fishing competition. And in the tournament, 6 trophies were caught, and that only on boilies. So pellets and sinking boilies, without golden bait, those were excluded from the tournament, and it's actually still working, even here with a low-level account. So still out here with the low-level, level 22 account. I'm still a little short on silver, so I can finally make the trip to Copper Lake. And right now, there also isn't really a hot phase at Copper Lake yet for fishing for the F1 carp and for the tench. There are some quite good spots currently at Copper Lake for somewhat bigger carp, and the frequency is really good too. We tested that yesterday evening on the live stream as well. But for these smaller fish, the ones that are actually worth it for such a low-level account, meaning for the 5-hour trip to Copper Lake, these fish are simply missing right now. Or rather, there aren't any known spots right now. And that's why I'm here at Bear Lake. And here at Bear Lake, the common barbel is running right now, and really well too. You can also see trophies popping up again and again in the chat. Not just my trophy, but also, every now and then, even leather carp trophies and so on. So it's really pulling in fish right now. It's actually running quite well. Right now, there are also over 170 players standing at this spot, testing the whole thing, and not just here on the Chinese server. Of course, the whole thing also works on the German server. We already tested that these past few days, so it's actually running very well. And I also stood here already with the big account and tested the pop-up rig to see whether it wouldn't be possible to go for the barbel with pop-up corn in green mussel flavor as well. And unfortunately, it wasn't that good. Then, yesterday evening, I already stood here with the low-level account and tested 3 different flavors. I don't have that much after all. I'm still poor. And accordingly, I have to see which boilies and pellets I can even use. Which ones actually make sense? What's worth buying? I've already spent 500 silver again. I'm back down to only 100 now. But in return, I've also produced a whole lot of feed mixture. We'll take a closer look at that in a moment too. What kind of ground bait have I produced, and how am I now starting, step by step, with carp fishing? So the base I currently have is, of course, especially for the barbel, crab and mussel soluble, absolutely essential. Crab and mussel soluble is always good for barbel fishing. These are sinking boilies now, meaning for the classic hair rig. And for the classic hair rig, I'm also using the pellets again, specifically both versions, 14mm pellets for a bit more frequency, 18mm pellets for the bigger fish, and the barbel went for those too. We'll take a look at that in a moment. And since I've recently unlocked the pop-up rig, I've of course also already bought 3 different corn kernels for Bear Lake. Cream, of course, as the absolute base. Mussel is included as well. And of course here also raspberry. So these 3 flavors are also absolutely essential for testing here at Bear Lake. And for that, I've also of course bought the matching dips. That's all quite a lot of silver that you invest in all these baits. But of course, these are also large quantities here. If I convert all of that back into fish, I naturally get many times that amount of silver back. What's important, of course, at the beginning is that you don't buy too much, but rather, at first, maybe 2 or 3 packages, which you then fish through first so that you can then go shopping again with the new silver, or invest the silver into ground bait, and don't buy too much. One of the biggest mistakes at the beginning is that you watch something somewhere on Discord or in a video, and then you think, oh, how cool, I'll try that out. After 5 minutes, you realize it doesn't work for you. But you've already spent 200 silver on new baits, And then you're standing there with your new baits, not knowing what else to do with them. And then, at some point, your inventory is full of the most different baits. You have no idea how to use them, and you keep spending silver over and over without any silver finally coming back in. So, get into the tutorials. Learn what's important. What can you do with your baits? What are the baits used for? Which fish want which baits? On the YouTube channel, you'll find a huge number of different videos for every body of water and for most fish, where typical baits are also used again and again. The question, however, always remains, which baits are interesting for the fish right now at this moment? And that's something we as anglers have to figure out. I have to figure that out, just the same as you, as an angler. That means if you ask me now, what's working right now at Bear Lake? Test, try it out, test, test, test. As always, you simply have to try it right now in the current moment. At the moment, it's running quite well here with this bait combination. That's the bait combination for the Barbel that's working quite well right now. And based on this in-game setup from the video, what to buy from level 20, I've essentially rebuilt that setup here again, simply with the classic hair rig, a size 1 hook, and then done the whole thing here with medium-sized boilies. Crab and fish, again as flavor. Crab and mussel soluble for the boilie, and for the pellet it's crab and fish. And this combination, as I said, is working really well right now, here for the Barbel too. Despite everything, the frequency isn't all that huge. Yesterday evening, with the 3 different baits, meaning 3 different flavors, I had noticeably more fish here at the spot than now, just continuously fishing here for the Barbel. In between, I just took a short break. But here, at the beginning too, it was mainly common carp that went for this bait combination. And I'm also currently testing a ground bait that I've produced, since I'm still moving around in the low-level range here and don't yet have enough skill points for producing high-quality Barbel feed. So I simply have to take what I have. And if we look in here at everything we have, we see the different components that we have available in the low-level range. Because I immediately invested 5 points right at the start, the quality of the ground bait I produce is immediately always quality 9 or 10 out of 10. So I already produce high quality feed right from the start, which I can use all the way into the end game. And accordingly, I also produce the normal feed that's already given here, meaning the completely normal common roach feed with all components, or the feed for gibble carp and crucian carp. In the video about how to best skill up your feed, meaning the fastest way to do it, it's shown how you do that if you have a lot of silver left over. Afterward, though, you throw away everything you produced because you're simply skilling up here with just one basic component. That works too, but in the long run, you naturally lose silver because you produce the entire ground bait once, throw it all away, and afterward you naturally have to buy everything again if you then want to produce the ground bait with all the components. And accordingly, I'm now producing ground bait that I can also still use later on. I've most recently produced ground bait 150 times, specifically 50 times with the vanilla flavor, 50 times with the cream flavor, and 50 times with the caramel flavor. That means I now have 3 different flavors. However, in terms of ingredients, they're otherwise the same. I took the homemade feed from Winding Rivulet, meaning what you can buy from the farmer. In addition, I've got corn in there and maggots in there. Relatively basic, so homemade feed, corn, and maggot. And then I only changed the flavor at the bottom to caramel, to cream, and to vanilla. And that's now, for the time being, my base feed. I'll definitely also use that later at Copper Lake when I'm fishing there for the F1 carp or fishing for the tench. For fishing here now, for the Barbel, I've also produced an extra feed. We have that up here, and it's a kind of basic Barbel flavor. There's cheese in it, there's egg in it, and there's garlic in it. Let's take a look at that here. Here too, I again took the homemade feed. Then I've got the bloodworm larva, the maggot in there. Then there's also the egg from the farm, and there's the processed cheese in there. We get that from the grocery store after all. And as a flavor, I've used garlic here. All of this isn't quite ideal, and I'm also not 100% sure yet whether this is actually the ideal barbel feed. Whether it actually works, I honestly can't say 100%, but what I can say is I caught a barbel trophy. So maybe it can't be all that wrong, this feed, right? The barbel probably just bit out of pity on my boilies because otherwise I'm catching so little here. So this is a classic spot here, the kind you've actually always known and the kind that's featured in every tutorial. Cast out to 55-63 at 21 meters, cast just over this reed edge, and then with fishy baits. That's naturally how you trigger the barbel here too. Cast out again quickly. As I said, the line clip here at 21 meters, and then it means waiting a little bit here if you can already produce the original barbel feed mix. So if you can produce the barbel feed mix, just use that. And then you can also put these components in here, meaning into the self-made one. So you use what's in the template 1-to-1, but then you still have 2 free slots here. And because we're now using crab and mussel as bait, you can of course also add feed pellets here, once toward crab and once toward mussel. What you could also put in there, of course, also things from the grocery store. For example, cheese again here too. Then you put cheese in here, plus feed pellets, mussel or crab. Or you take a crushed boilie, crab and mussel soluble, and put that in as well. So use the base feed mixes and combine them here when rebuilding with 2 additional components that in turn go in the direction of your bait. And it's about to start again here, heading into the evening hours. The barbel especially likes to bite in the evening hours and in the morning hours. During the day, there's less going on. So you should definitely be at the spot then. And of course, have already pre-baited the spot as well. Right now, for me, the whole thing isn't all that incredibly high in terms of frequency. Despite everything, the fish is coming in quite well. And as we also saw in the last tournament, trophies are being caught here regularly. The weather conditions are still such that it's cold here. So the way it is right now, it's actually still working quite well. Trophies are also still continuing to be caught here. So it's running quite well here at the spot. And in terms of silver, I'm of course extremely satisfied too. 300 silver just for the trophy alone, that's of course really rewarding. More of that please. I'll now keep testing here for barbel, and of course later on I'll test a somewhat different feed combination too. So off to Bear Lake. Test, 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 as always. If you like this and it helped you, leave a thumbs up, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and we'll see each other in the next video. Until then, tight line.